coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor. This is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening. I'm Torcia Velthuizen and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. First-year journalism students had the chance to experience a real newsroom setting on Friday. Nate Hinckley has the details.
Last Friday, St. Clair College's MediaPlex launched Blitz Day. Blitz Day is a day students can use all the skills they've learned in the past months and put them to good use. Todd Sheeran is the managing editor at the MediaPlex.
Blitz Day here at the MediaPlex is very important for everybody involved, myself as a managing editor and my partners. It's important for the first years because they get the first actual news day experience where they come in, they have their day's meeting, they go out, they get to chase after them day of.
It's clear from today, students have learned a lot from the Blitz. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Nate Hinckley.
Reporter Aaron Lombardi went to the Chimp Museum to give us an inside look at its history.
The Chimp Museum in downtown Windsor has come a long way since its opening in February, but even before this, the museum has seen plenty of repercussions which held back its completion for so long. Joseph Chimp, the local eccentric in which the museum was named, had donated a large sum of money to the city of Windsor following his death in 1990. Now, 26 years later, the museum is the resulting factor of the donation despite the occurring debates over the years regarding where the money should go. The Chimp displays relics from all around the local area with the aim of giving the public an accessible and realistic view to what Windsor, Essex was like before modernization. Some artifacts date back to the times of the Ice Age, in which our area was a frozen glacial path harboring none other than the woolly mammoth. Following this, there are an immense amount of displays dating back to what some would assume is the most important war in Windsor's history, the War of 1812. A large wooden statue of Chief Tecumseh sits in the museum to show others his cultural importance to the area. Now, many years later, Joseph Chimp's donation money has gone to a reasonable cause. One would wonder of his approval of the museum rather than the paving of roads or other more industrial ventures. Madeline Delavale is the head curator of the Chimp Museum and had this to say.
Well, we're still in the midst of our first year of operation. We opened on February 18th, 2016, and we're really thrilled to have such a new and beautiful and large place to interpret Windsor's history, our Chimp Museum.
The history of the museum's inner workings is immense and powerful as a spectator will walk out of the doors in total awe of the historical significance of a city we call home. From First Nations artifacts to rum running, the Chimp Museum was well worth the wait. I'm Aaron Lombardi reporting for MediaPlex News.
It's time to head down to the streets where Chelsea is standing by for an early look at the weather. Chelsea?
Out here it's dark right now, overcast and a cool 10 degrees. Overnight there's a chance of rain and will drop to about 6. I'll be back later in the show for your 3-day forecast. Back to you, Torcia.
Retailers are in full Christmas mode. Lindy Colleen Morgan reports.
Halloween is over and November 1st has passed, and retail stores have set their sights on Christmas. Big box stores are prepping for the season by putting out the Christmas goodies they've had for months. An employee of Walmart said that the company gets their Christmas stock Labor Day weekend and is put out in small amounts along with the Halloween decorations. As soon as Halloween is done, Christmas takes over. But big box stores aren't the only ones getting ready for Christmas. Smaller retail stores and custom boutique stores are also getting ready for all the festivities. 10,000 Villages is one of these stores. Gail Rock is the general manager at the Windsor store and says that the company wants each store to start early for the living gift season.
Certain projects they have every year, like get a chicken or a goat or money for a well or money for children's education or food programs. They start those donations on November 1st, so we like to have the store decorated.
Another store ready for the holiday season is Bob Rayum Sports, a sports apparel and merchandise store. Owner of the store, Bob Rayum, said there are popular items that people are looking for this year.
A lot of it depends. I mean, if the Lions keep playing well, there'll be a heavy influx of Lions stuff. No question about it. Red Wings, Toronto, Montreal will always be strong.
So for those still looking for those last-minute gifts, don't forget to check out your local specialized boutique and retail stores. For MediaPlex News, I'm Lindy Colleen Morgan.
Former Windsor Star reporter and recently published author Don Lajoie came to the studio to tell us about his new book in the edition of 3 Minutes With.
I'm here with Don Lajoie, former reporter of the Windsor Star, who has recently had a book published about his many trips to Haiti. Thanks for joining me, Don.
Yes.
Now, could you tell me a little bit about your trips to Haiti and how it motivated you to write this book?
Basically, it started years ago in the mid-'90s when I first started going to Haiti as a reporter. And every time I came back, I've been there about 10 times, and every time I came back, Marty Gervais, who was also working at the Star, would tell me that the stories that I was accumulating would make a good book someday. And I really didn't think a whole lot about it, and I sort of put it off through the years, and it was always sort of in the back of my mind. And then when I came close to retiring, Marty suggested it again, and I thought, why not? I'll have some time to myself. I'll be able to sit down and think about it, and the book is the result.
How long did it take you to write the book?
It took me about a year and a half. I mean, I can remember an example. You literally see children there who are reduced to eating mud because their parents have to put something in their stomachs. They have no food, so they will make these little pies out of dirt, and they will put salt and sort of to give it some kind of flavor, just so the kids will have something in their stomach and stop crying. So you see that one week. Then the next week, I remember the first morning after I returned, I couldn't sleep, so I went to the Tim Hortons in the neighborhood, and I was sitting there having a coffee, and it was about 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning, just when kids are starting to play hockey. And this kid showed up with his father in the Tim Hortons, and he was fighting with his father because he wanted better skates. He wanted his father to get him $200 skates or more. And I can remember after leaving there, sitting in the car and feeling depressed almost to the point of crying over the fact that what a huge, vast gulf there is between what kids here experience, what some of the kids there have to live through. So that's an example, but I've got a lot of different stories. Almost some of them too difficult to explain and too hard to go into.
Yeah.
That doing it in a 3-minute interview may be difficult.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your heart and your book and your experience with us today. Make sure you pick up a copy of the Voodoo Journal. This has been 3 Minutes with Don Lajoie.
We have 2 special guests in the studio to talk about Windsor's Life Center upcoming play. Alyssa?
Thanks, Torcia. I'm here with Shane and Nadine, 2 of the cast members from Windsor Life Center's upcoming play, The Butler Did It. So, could you guys tell me about the characters you play in this production?
So I play Colonel Nigel Covington. He owns the estate that the play takes place in, and he's kind of like a retired British Army colonel, and he's losing his mind, but he won't admit it, so he kind of tries to cover up as best as he can.
Could you do a line in the accent?
I don't want to ruin the play, Alyssa. How about I just do the rest of the interview in the accent?
All right. I mean, whatever. And Nadine, could you tell me about your character?
I play Ms. Edwina Corey. I am a mystery book author, and I come to visit at the estate, the Colonel's estate, and I am tasked with solving a mystery.
And what is this mystery?
You'll have to find out.
And Shane, where can we find out about this? Where can we see this play?
All right, so the play will be taking place at Windsor Christian Fellowship. The play dates are the 19th and the 20th, as well as the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. All the days will be at 7 p.m., except for the 20th, which will be a 3 p.m. matinee.
And the address, or is it just at the church?
That will be at Windsor Christian Fellowship.
Awesome. And can you tell me a little bit about tickets, how much they are, where you can get them?
So tickets are $15 each. All of the proceeds of our tickets will be going to the Windsor Life Center. The Windsor Life Center is a residential home for women ages 18 and older that are suffering from alcohol or drug addictions. And so, again, all of the proceeds are going to the Windsor Life Center. We're very excited about that. Tickets can be purchased at www.windsorlifecenter.com, or you can call the Windsor Christian Fellowship
Thank you. So, Shane, how long have you guys been working on this? How many practices would you say you guys have had?
Oh dear. Well, we've been working on the play since about June, I would say. Yes. And practices have increased over the last little while to be about 4 to 5 days per week.
That is correct. That's how many hours of your year would you say you've spent practicing this play?
Well, we've put in a good chunk of time, probably, I don't know, 10 hours a week for the past couple of weeks, and then before that we were averaging maybe 5. So
wow.
However many math tells us 5 hours a week until like a couple weeks ago, and then 10 hours a week since when we started. That would be the right number.
And how many people are, like cast and crew, are in this part of making this production happen?
We would say there's about 20 people in the cast and crew that have been working very diligently at putting together a phenomenal show with wonderful effects, and no one will be disappointed.
So who did it? Was it the Butler?
You'll have to find out.
How did you get involved in this play?
I was kidnapped.
You were kidnapped. And can you tell me if the Butler did it?
I'd have to kill you.
I guess we'll have to see for ourselves starting the 19th and the weekend after. Come on out and see this play. It's going to be a good one. Back to you, Torcia.
If you're considering journalism or public relations as a career choice, check out this video.
Prior to attending St. Clair College, I obtained a degree in business administration at the University of Windsor. At St. Clair, I earned a diploma in public relations. In the PR program, you're required to do 2 internships. I did both mine at the casino. My internships turned into a job, and I was hired even before graduating. I now work at a world-renowned venue that attracts the biggest superstars. It's so exciting to be a part of this. St. Clair College provided me the opportunity to put my knowledge and skills to use in the real world, which turned into a real job. I definitely feel like I am more marketable and employable because I have both a university degree and a college diploma.
I started my post-secondary journey at St. Clair College studying journalism at the MediaPlex. The program was amazing. We were able to train in a state-of-the-art facility using cutting-edge equipment and technology, and all of the faculty are media professionals. After earning my diploma at St. Clair, I went on to obtain my degree at Griffith University in Australia. They have a transfer agreement with St. Clair, so I was able to fast-track my journalism degree, majoring in public relations and marketing. It was a life-changing experience. Now, I'm working for a wonderful local charity, doing what I was trained to do, public relations, and I love it. Because of St. Clair, I was able to get my diploma and degree in just 3.5 years, and I got to study and live across the world.
Let's head back outside to check out our 3-day weather forecast. Chelsea?
Thanks, Torcia. Did you notice we experienced a supermoon yesterday? It was the closest the full moon has ever been to the Earth since January 26, 1948. Now, let's take a look at your 3-day forecast. Wednesday will be mainly sunny with a high of 14 and a low of 6. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 17 and a low of 4. And Friday, sunny again with a seasonably warm high of 17 and a low of 6. That's it from me from the corner of University in Victoria. Back to you, Torcia.
The head of local charity Coats for Kids sat down for 3 minutes with Stephanie Zagrafos.
Hi, welcome to 3 Minutes With. I'm with Russ Anderson, the chair of Coats for Kids. Hi, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you, Stephanie.
That's good. Could you tell me about the organization of Coats for Kids?
Well, the organization of Coats for Kids started with the Red Cross 30 years ago, and the last 12 years has been with the Unemployed Help Center. I'm the chair of the program, and we use a lot of volunteers, probably at least over close to 400 volunteers to run the program. And the program is a recycling program where the community gives coats to the program. We use volunteers to sometimes wash them, the dry cleaners help, and then we use volunteers to give back to the people in need. So it's a total combination of help from the whole community. It's very, very nice.
And what is Coats for Kids trying to accomplish?
Well, trying to keep the low-income families or the families that, you know, just don't have much. You see kids dead of winter and they're walking to school with just a sweater on, you know. So there's a lot of families in the community that need help, and this was one way to try to at least get a winter coat and maybe some hats, scarves, and mitts are the main thing. That's one thing we really need a lot more of.
How are coats distributed?
Well, there's 5 sites in the city and 4 in the county. So it's a county-wide program, and that will run starting this Saturday. And 8 sites give out from Saturday until the next Friday. And then the Unemployed Help Center, they give out coats probably right through into Christmas and sometimes into January and February if the need is there. And there's a few county sites that also give out during the year if they keep a small selection.
Do you have adult coats?
Yes, we do, because if the kids need them, so do the adults, usually the whole family. Just that years ago when we started the program, we felt that if we started saying adults, then we would get too many adult coats in and we wouldn't get enough children coats. So we've always been able to have enough adult coats in the program the way it runs right now, saying Coats for Kids.
What inspired the starting of this program?
It was Red Cross. They came to the Dry Cleaners Association, and I had a dry cleaning business back in the day. I'm retired now. And they said, you know, do you think the dry cleaners and Red Cross could put together a program similar to what was run up in Toronto and London? And those are the only other 2 places in Ontario. And so I was part of the association, and they said, you know, hey, Russ would probably be great for this. He's quite an organizer, and the rest is history. That was 31 years ago, and then the year after the program started.
How has the program developed over the 30 years?
Well, it's the first year we gave out 3,500 coats in one site in Windsor on Olette Avenue at the Red Cross. And since then, we've gotten up to roughly about 6,000 coats go out. We're hoping that the numbers might come down. That means that the city is in a little better shape. So it did come down about 102 from last year, I mean the year before to last year. So we're hoping that maybe it might drop another 100 or 2, because then that says that the community is kind of, everybody is starting to work a little more. You know, it's kind of a scary situation in Windsor, a lot of unemployment.
Thank you. That's all the time we have today. I really appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's time to check in with Mikaela Morin for our weekly community calendar. Mikaela?
What's up, Windsor? Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., Higher Limits hosts a Super Smash Bros. Tournament for your chance to win prizes and glory. Friday night from 9 till 12, check out The Takeover, a 90s dance party at Fog Lounge. We'll be busting out our favorite tunes and playing your requests from that glorious era throughout the night. Make sure to come jam with us. The Rondo is hosting DJ Dominic Bianco every Saturday from 10 until close. Bianco was the resident DJ at the Loop for almost a decade and stays true to his Windsor fans. Come out and dance the night away. A group of students from right here at the MediaPlex are teaming up with the Pediatric Oncology Group of Ontario to organize a dinner and silent auction. This fundraiser takes place on Sunday, November 20th at 6 p.m. at Chow Pasta Bar. Come out and support this special cause. Back to you, Torcia.
Remembrance Day was on Friday. Katie Panasek produced this video to tribute those who we remember.
When our veterans stand side by side and when we stand with them, as we do today, we show our continued support to all those men and women we've lost and to the families and loved ones they've left behind. The city of Windsor is a community built on stories, and many of those stories belong to the veterans who call Windsor home. Every year for people in my position, there's a sense of needing to find new words to express the magnitude of respect and sincere affection we have for our veterans. But the more I think about it, and the more I'm trying to do it, there really are no new words. And so I go back to the words that first come into my mind when I think of each and every one of you here today and what each and every one of you means to us. Bravery, valor, integrity, selflessness, loyalty, and hope. These are the traits our veterans possessed, and these are the traits that they embody today. This is what we remember about those who are no longer here. This is what we celebrate about those who are still standing with us now.
We come together as citizens to honor those who serve and grieve for our losses. As volunteers, it is our sincere desire that you feel the passion of remembrance.
Firefighters turned up the heat for a good cause this year at Chili Fest. Sarita Vernassi has more.
The Windsor Professional Firefighters Association has welcomed the season of giving with their annual Chili Fest at the St. Clair Center for the Arts. Going on for over 20 years, the Chili Fest provides the community with a chance to meet their neighborhood firefighters as well as donate to a cause. John Pico, a coordinator of the event and member of the Firefighters Benefit Fund, said the event gets bigger every year.
This year we have a record amount of chilies. We have 46 chilies involved. You get a lot of local restaurants donating chilies to this event. We usually get a pretty good turnout. We're somewhere in the 1,000 people range, 1,500 people, so it's great to have the community come out.
Over 40 local restaurants donated chili to be served by Windsor's firefighters, one of them being Mike Stroud, who said the Skyline Room at the Center of the Arts was the perfect venue.
It's nice here at the St. Clair Center for the Arts. We used to do it at the Armies, which was nice too, but this is a nice view, and I think it draws a better crowd for people. It's nice scenery, and people seem to enjoy it.
The proceeds from ticket sales go to the Windsor Firefighters Benefit Fund to contribute to their toy drive for children. This is Sarita Vernassi for MediaPlex News Now.
Color commentator for the Toronto Blue Jays and former MLB player Joe Siddall stopped by the studio for an interview with reporter Ryan Blevins.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blevins, and today I'm spending 3 minutes with Joe Siddall. Joe spent time in the major leagues and is a Windsorite and currently works for AM 590 The Fan as the color commentator for the Toronto Blue Jays. Joe, thanks for joining us today.
Morning, Ryan.
So tell me a little bit about your playing career. I know that you're from Windsor, real athletic guy, played all kinds of sports here, but when did you really find out that baseball was for you, and how did you end up playing professionally?
Well, tricky question. I actually played a lot of sports as a kid. In high school, at Assumption High School, was football, basketball, and baseball. And ironically, I earned a football scholarship out of high school to Central Michigan University, so that's where the twist began. After my freshman year, I was redshirted as a quarterback, and I was getting ready to go back at the end of summer. Two-a-day football practices were starting up in August, and I got a call from a local Montreal Expo scout to come out to a camp they were holding. So I thought nothing of it, and I went out. Well, I guess I had a good couple of days at the camp, and I was offered a professional contract. And I remember being naive at the time. I think I was 19 years old, and I remember saying on the phone, well, no, I can't play professional baseball. I've got to be back to school in a couple of weeks. I was just really didn't get how it worked. That was back before Canadians had to go through the draft. So eventually I did a lot of decision making. My parents were in on the decision as well, and we really tried to weigh the pros and cons. Ultimately, it was a decision I made to pursue the professional baseball career was that school will always be there if I want to go back and finish it at some point. Unfortunately, I would have to give up what would have been a 5-year football scholarship at Central Michigan, the education part of it too. But I thought it might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pursue a professional baseball dream, so that's the avenue I went down.
So you spend 10+ seasons in baseball, 4 in the major leagues. How did you adjust now in your current job as a broadcaster with the Jays? How did your playing days really prepare you for what you do now?
Probably more so than anything is, as a player, you're interviewed on occasion. And anytime I was interviewed, I enjoyed talking baseball. We talk baseball a lot. You and I do. We love it. You have a passion for the game, and I think most players do. Number one, they're gifted at their talent, at their skill, but They also just love the game, and I think that's where it came for me. And throughout my career, I was kind of one of those, probably being a catcher too. I was kind of that go-to guy in the clubhouse, I think, for a lot of reporters. When they needed that story or that interview, I enjoyed it. And I never thought about broadcasting, really. This kind of came about very last second. But I think more so than anything, it's as a player and dealing with the media in that role that probably prepared me more than anything as a broadcaster.
So what's next for you as the broadcaster, just as the person? Obviously, you're in your off season now, but what's next for Joe Siddall?
What's next for Joe Siddall is a little R&R. It's been a long season. You know, as broadcasters, you almost take on the player's schedule, so you feel a bit like a player again. We go down to spring training at the end of February, and it's pretty well every day until, for the Blue Jays this year, it was late October, and it's 2 years in a row now, so it does shorten your off season a little bit. But a lot of relaxation. My wife and I, Tamara, are from Windsor. We were born and raised here. We raised our family here. We still live here in South Windsor, where we both grew up. So it's very nice to get back. I still have a mother who is 88 years old, just turned. Nice to visit her a lot in the neighborhood. My wife's family's in the neighborhood. So we have a lot of family around, and it's nice to spend time. Our oldest daughter, Brooke, she's graduated from university, but she's working back in Windsor, living at home, so she's at home with us. Brett, who plays with the Oakland A's in the minor leagues now, he's home for his off season, so we're kind of having the same roles there, sharing the house together. And then we have a daughter out at UBC, daughter Mackenzie, playing softball there for the Thunderbirds. So we'll get out to see her probably once or twice too before I head back for spring training.
Sounds like you got a full house going on for the off season.
Full house, but something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it's great.
I thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching. I'm Ryan Blevins, and this has been 3 Minutes with Joe Siddall.
Want to save on groceries? Here's Lindy Colleen Morgan with your Money Minute.
Money is something we all like to save, but this can sometimes be hard. One of the most costly weekly expenses is groceries. According to Stats Canada, Canadians spent on average $5,880 a year on groceries in 2014. But there are apps available to help you save and put money back into your pocket. So here are my top 3 money-saving apps. App number 1 is Flip. This app keeps customers up to date on sales happening at retailers across Canada and the United States. Users are able to register and search for products by deals, brands, coupons, and items. It is rated 4.4 out of 5 on the Google App Store. The next app is PC Points. This app has also been rated as a 4.4. The PC Plus program gives you offers on items you buy most. Each offer gives you points that is the equivalent to money. After earning 20,000 points or $20, you are able to use these points towards free groceries. Last but not least on the list is Zweet. This app allows you to shop for your favorite brands and earn cash back with your receipt. Here are the 3 steps to the Zweet and save. Number 1, browse and buy. Number 2, scan your receipt. And number 3, get money back. This app is rated 4.2 out of 5. These apps help customers get right down to the good deals. All these apps are available on the Google Play and iTunes Store. I am Lindy Colleen Morgan, and this has been your Money Saving Minute.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Torcia Velthuizen, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.